November 9, year 2018. Hi, this is Mijanur Rahman from Toronto. This is one of my sessions that I have promised that I would produce a video series for the Financial Planning Tacit Knowledge Series for the business owners. And so here it is. So this is the beginning. This is the first video, but I may have to reproduce the video depending on I haven't prepared. The reason I haven't prepared because I have completed this research in year 2012, year 2013 to year 2016. I have completed the final research was completed in year 2016. And for that, I'm very thankful to certain individuals who allowed me to access the facilities at a great library here in Toronto. I'm very thankful for that to them. Perhaps I can, in my next video, once I have their permission to disclose their name, I'll be more than happy to disclose. So I have started to research the business side of financial planning in year 2010, 11 for the professional corporation and the others. But anyway, let's the medium-sized to large business, the financial planning. I have started to work on that since year 2013. Now I'm trying to send a message to the world that this world is no longer that you used to know. This world has changed, evolves every single second. Every decision you make, it involves someone probably far, far away from where you're located. It involves somewhere on the other end of the world. So knowing that your customers, your client could be another part of this world, another part, perhaps they could be sitting in the orbits of this earth and accepting your service, right? And we are not very far from the 22nd and 23rd century, but we have to aim. Government probably, I suppose, or some organization already has aimed to accomplish their goals for the next century or so forth. Having said that, I wanted to make this video as easy as possible for you to understand it. The reason is because everything begins with understanding of the financial plan. Because once you have finance ready, once you have money in your hand, most of the things are achievable, assuming there are technical expertise, their knowledge, and their material, and all the other resources are available to you. So what does the business look like in next century or even in middle of this century or the end of this century? Do you have something what you have today? Do you have a convenience store, a regular shop? Perhaps you do, perhaps you don't, perhaps you do, but knowing the uncertainty of that is raises a question, the uncertainty, right? Because we don't know what will happen because of the destructive technology, right? But we can predict that, we'll have a store, we'll have a place that we could go and shop, or we could conduct our business, or probably receive some services, right? But the customization of such will probably change, will probably be much different than what we're used to today. Right? So, if you think of your grandfather, if you are the age of 60 or 70 today, and if you knew your great grandfather or your grandfather, how they think, and if you know your grandchild, how he thinks, there is a significant difference between your grandchild and your grandfather, and you are the sandwich in the middle. Now, it might not sound right, but what I'm trying to say is that we need to plan. The reason we need to plan, even though that plan may not come true, but if we have something, if we work towards something, it will take us somewhere. If you start to walk, right, you're going to burn some fat, you're going to gain some result. And if you run, it is most likely you will probably better your heart rate or have some other competitive advantage over the walk-in, right? And if you really, really think hard and smart, then here's my question. You planned you wanted to walk, or you want to run, you plan, you make the decision. Now, when it comes to global business, when it comes to business, mid-size or large business, then you, my friend, you want to think that whether you want to actually walk with this century or the century that coming in, right? Obviously, some business will survive hundreds of years or thousands of years. Some wouldn't even a year. So it's all depends on how you structure your business, how you plan. But regardless the fact that we often face unsystematic risk, right? And because of those risks exist within the system itself, and some above, some beyond the system that we have no control over, right? So knowing all those risks, knowing all those planning that you want to plan, and knowing that you have risks that you can't address. So what's the point of having this plan for this global business of yours, or the business that you have in your mind to reach the customer on the other end of the world, or probably an organization sitting on the orbit of this earth, or a ship sitting on the orbit of this earth, or probably even the end of this century, you probably have people sitting in another planet, right? So we don't know how tomorrow's decision, tomorrow's invention, where this would lead us to, right? But we know something. If we aim for it, then we must be somewhere. If we walk, if you wanted to go somewhere and you actually decided to walk, it will lead you to somewhere. But if you just sit there, do nothing, it won't take you anywhere. You'll sit there, and that is not a good plan. That's for sure. So how do we better our business? How do we prepare ourselves for the next century? We're not talking about today. We're not talking about 10 years. We're talking about century after, probably 100 of years from now on, right? There are companies that will survive that. And there are companies that will form, giving this notation in their mind. They will service the unborn thousands years from now on, or the unborn of next century. They know that they will serve them. So knowing all this uncertainty, knowing all those untold events, unplanned events that yet to come, how this company will finance it. The financial decision they make is not only today's. Today, what you're making is already past. You made today's decision yesterday, or day before, or year before, right? And since you have made those decisions a year before or day before, you are executing that decision today in every business or even a personal life, right? You have a calendar, you book something and you get it done. You go to work. Your work is actually workload comes from previous day, sometimes the same day. So today is actually a history, a past. Tomorrow is yet to come, but it's already here. So why not plan something for tomorrow? You plan for tomorrow, don't you? You plan, you write your calendar, you write your agenda, you write what you want